Republican Congresswoman Mary Miller is demanding a federal investigation into Illinois schools and the Illinois High School Association for allowing males to compete in girls' sports. Citing serious concerns over fairness and safety, Congresswoman Miller warned that this violates federal law and undermines opportunities for female athletes. Miller introduced the Keep Our Girls Safe Act, which would ban federal funding to any school that permits males in female sports divisions. She criticized Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and state Democrats for pushing radical gender ideology at the expense of girls' rights and protections enshrined under Title IX. Congresswoman Mary Miller, representing Illinois' 15th District, joins us now. Congresswoman, I am shocked, but I guess I shouldn't be, that we are still talking about this despite the complete regime change, the complete administrative change we have had recently about this very issue. What's going on in Illinois?
Yes. Well, our governor has been fully supportive of this dangerous, radical trans ideology, and he and his family have been promoting it across the country. But President Trump came in, he's fulfilling his promises. He wants to protect our girls and their opportunities in athletics. Our girls should be safe in their private spaces, and this transgender agenda that Pritzker and the radical Democrats are pushing is anti-science, it's anti-federal law, and it's anti what the American people and the people in Illinois want.
Maybe this is more a question for a candid setting, but why do Democrats feel that this is the hill upon which they will die? Because it seems like politically it is a very stupid calculation. The percentage of voters on which this is a top matter cannot be that substantive, can it?
It cannot, and I guess if they want to continue to lose, which is great with me, they should keep pushing it. But in light of protecting our girls and their opportunities, this is terrible. The whole purpose of Title IX was to give our girls and women equal opportunities in education and athletics, and this turned it on its head, and it defies all common sense. You cannot change your gender, which President Trump was great, coming in with his executive orders that there's two sexes and putting a stop to this radical transgender ideology. Pritzker is defying the law, and I want to tell the schools and the IHSA that you should not be doing this with him. And I did send a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Secretary of Education. I want them to come and investigate and hold Pritzker accountable for pushing this.
What kind of support do you have from your constituents? What do they tell you when they are faced with this question?
Everybody supports it. This is just common sense. For one thing, I tell people all the time, communities thrive when the schools and the parents cooperate, when they work together to give our kids a good education and to keep them safe. This is the top priority of the government, and should be for the adults in the room, is to keep our children safe. Girls are not safe when men are in their private spaces or participating in their athletic events. And everybody knows that men have more bone mass and muscle, and it's an unfair competition, and shame on the IHSA for not protecting girls' athletics. They are supposed to be the gatekeeper and making sure that there's fair competition. And if anything, letting a male participate in girls' athletics is not providing fair competition.
I mean, this also has to hit you as a mother, too. I mean, I know you have a big family back home. You are a mother of many children.
Right.
And
yes.
I forget, how many kids do you have?
I have 7 children and soon to be 22 grandchildren. And, I have daughters and granddaughters. But even my boys, they didn't like it when they were playing like pee-wee sports and the girls were on the team, because they were afraid that they would accidentally hurt the girl, because we raised our boys to be that way, to be gentlemen. And this is just, it's crazy. I don't really know why the Democrats are pushing this when it's so unpopular, but I do have to say, you can go back. I remember the Democratic convention when Hillary was running, and they were like mocking God, and they've kicked God out of everything. They have zero plumb line, which is why they are literally insane today. And these policies are insane. Not to protect our children is insanity.
Now, and that's why it's so important for voices like yours to be advocating for bills like this, because you have so much, you have had this issue at stake. You have stake in the game, and you have 22 grandchildren. Congratulations. It's amazing.
Well, thank you. But the only way to stop this is to speak up. People need to speak up. Parents need to throw fits. They need to speak up. Go to the media. Take your children out of schools. Take them out of those competitions. Do not call men that dress as women or try to get in your girls' sports. Don't call them women. They are men pretending. And we've got to stop it. And I'm saying to the schools and IHSA that you need to cooperate with federal law. I'm calling on the Illinois sheriffs to ignore Pritzker and cooperate with ICE. That is another thing Pritzker's doing that's unlawful.
Wow. Well, speaking of your governor, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, he called, he was back in national headlines, not for these headlines, which he should be too, but he was calling for mass protests against President Trump, declaring that Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. That was a quote. And urging Democrats to mobilize aggressively against the GOP. Here he is.
Right.
Never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption. But I am now. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. They have to understand that we will fight their cruelty with every megaphone and microphone that we have. We must castigate them on the soapbox and then punish them at the ballot box.
What do you make of that rhetoric? It sounds pretty inciting.
He brought up worldview. Okay, so first of all, the worldview that I have and the people in Illinois have is that our elected officials will do three things for us, is make sure that we are safe and secure in our communities and our homes. J.B. Pritzker favors the criminals over the victims. He has badmouthed and diminished law enforcement in Illinois, and he's opened us up to be a sanctuary state. The second thing we want is our elected officials to promote economic opportunities. He could care less about us. He is a liar and a deceiver. We used to be a net exporter of energy in Illinois. We are now importing our energy. And businesses and people are fleeing Illinois because of the economic collapse in Illinois. And thirdly, the worldview that people in Illinois have is they want elected officials to provide an excellent education for their children, failing our kids in Illinois. It is ridiculous. And the number one thing is our kids should be safe in the public schools, which they are not. And adding to it is putting men in the girls' athletics and their private spaces.
It's incredible that he, I guess he is voicing what seems to be a very consistent baseline for the Democrat Party as a whole. Because again, they're picking these very strange battles, these strange hills to die on. These are the topics, these are the issues. They are siding not with Americans and very consistently siding with non-Americans. And surely they're going to have to reckon with themselves that this is not a winning message going into 2028, going into midterms. This is not a winning message. Is this a lack of leadership on the Democrat side, or are they just this scrambled as political thinkers?
Well, I want to remind everybody that President Obama said he had a dream, and it was to fundamentally transform our country. Transform it into what? A socialist hellhole? These people are Marxists. And Marxists, they use chaos and they want to overwhelm the system. That's what they're doing. Right. They're doing that in Illinois, creating chaos. And, we need to vote them out. I want to tell people Illinois has the votes to get them out, but people have to show up. They need to participate. Our government is one that's of the people, by the people, and for the people. And if the people abdicate, there are people like J.B. Pritzker that are happy to grab the power and crush you.
Congresswoman Mary Miller, all good points, incredible battles that you are taking up in that very blue state otherwise. Thank you so much for making the time, and keep up the good fight.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. Congress has passed the bipartisan Take It Down Act against deepfake porn. Some really, really interesting ethical issues here. Mark Beckman weighs in. We'll be right back.